welcome back to another Star Trek, the official Starship Collection review. I have before me yet another special issue. This time it's the USS Defiant NCC-1764, the special glow-in-the-dark issue. It's kind of fitting and ironic and even funny that I would get this, the shipment containing this issue, among others. But especially interesting because last week or the week before, Star Trek Discovery took a trip to the Mirror Universe, and of course a diagram of the Defiant was seen on screen, albeit with a few modifications, most likely due to its 100 years of service in this dreadful universe. But this is the Defiant as it appeared on the original series, and following that on Star Trek Enterprise and in A Mirror Darkly Parts 1 and 2. But the only difference is this one glows in the dark. And I've seen it and it's awesome. But before I get to that, let's just get to the magazine. Alright, so you'll notice right off that the Defiant, or the image of the ship, glows green, as it should, because that's how it appeared in the episode The Tholian Web. And yeah, it's considered Constitution class, 289 meters long, a crew of 430, and the only thing that's special about this thing is that it has spatial interface, or at least it phased into some kind of interface. Turn the page and it has the same layout as any of the other magazines. Of course, it is Starfleet Registry NCC-1764, Constitution class. It was considered lost in the 23rd century in the Prime timeline in the year 2268. That's about the third season of the original series. 289 meters long, 23 decks, phasers, and photon torpedoes for weaponry. Turn the page, and you have another cool rendering of the ship there, as well as some of the original screen cap from the Tholian Web, and more on the history. And for those of you who are big fans of the original series in Star Trek Enterprise, you'll know that this ship, spoiler alert, this ship was lost in the third season original series episode called Tholian Web, and it just kind of disappeared, and no one really knew what happened to it, and the crew kind of went insane from killing each other. They killed each other because I guess they were in this particular unstable area of space for so long. Captain Kirk was thought lost on the ship, but was rescued at the last minute, thanks to some good transporter and ingenious stuff by Scotty and others on the Enterprise. But unbeknownst to them at the time, the Defiant phased out, or was sucked into a parallel universe, in particular one called the Mirror Universe, probably a century earlier. So let me just kind of back up because it can get confusing really fast. So this 23rd century ship in the Prime timeline was pretty much lured by accident into the past via a interphasic spatial rift of some kind that sent the ship 100 years back in time to a parallel universe 100 years in the past. It's confusing. It's like Back to the Future. It's kind of hard to explain. But basically that's what happened. It went back in time to a parallel universe from the Prime universe. And ultimately it was stolen, put into a asteroid field where it was later, where they tried to disassemble it, reverse engineer it, etc. The Tholians did, until the Terran Empire found out about it and got their hands on it. And Hoshi Sato, the Emperor, or the Mirror Hoshi Sato, ultimately took control of the ship and used it to declare herself Empress of the Terran Empire, and that is the last that we see of it until 2 weeks ago on Star Trek Discovery. Now, we haven't actually seen the ship yet, but we keep hearing about it. It's referenced almost constantly, and of course we saw the diagram with the modifications. So anyway, enough rambling. So here's more about that. You got Inner Darkly screenshots down here. You have the Tholian Web screenshots up here. And here's a section on the writing of the episode of Tholian Web, which is pretty an awesome episode. I love it. And more on that. The first appearance of the Tholians, but not the last. And here's a section on the recreation of the classic original series sets seen on Star Trek Enterprise for that special Mirror Universe episode. Inner Mirror Darkly Parts 1 and 2 were the only episodes contained entirely in the Mirror Universe. That is, those two episodes did not feature any cast members or any characters from the Prime Universe interacting with their Mirror Universe counterparts. It was just from beginning to end. It was entirely set in this alternate universe. And basically it left the writers and the crew all kinds of gave them some freedom to do some things that they normally would not have been able to do, because Enterprise was set 100 years before the original series. So being that this is a parallel universe, and they could do some funky things with it. So, but this section talks about the redesigning or recreating the original series sets and uniforms and so on. Yeah, I'm sure they had a good time doing it. And more on that. We even got a dedication plaque here, which is kind of cool. Oddly enough, it doesn't say Starship class like the original plaque did, I think. Like the original USS Enterprise plaque says Starship class. So this is kind of different. It actually says Constitution class. And the rest of the screen caps are from the episode. And here we have an unusual diagram page. This was the Bakudagram, quote unquote, seen in the episode. And there it is as it appeared in the episode on the main view screen. And here it is recreated here, which I think is pretty awesome. And here we go, the on-screen appearance page. Its first appearance was in the Tholian Web on the episode of the original Star Trek series back in like 1967 or 8. No, maybe 9. Think about it. The first appearance of this very ship was some 40, 50 years ago in the real world, and it appeared decades later on Star Trek Enterprise, and has just come up again in the present. So this thing's been around for a while. And so yeah, that is the USS Defiant special issue magazine. And now I would like to show you the model itself. Alright, and there she is. There it is in the box, the USS Defiant, the Starship Defiant. I've been really excited about this one. I wasn't as excited to get the other Constitution class ships, but for some reason this one really got me excited. I always was fascinated about the Defiant, and the fact that it has come up on Star Trek Discovery has re-sparked that interest. So here it is in the box. It has a green look to it. So let me get it out and show you the goodness that is here. Alright, and there it is. This looks just like the original Enterprise, and the wow, looks pretty good. Again, it looks just like the Enterprise and the Yorktown, the Gene Roddenberry Yorktown ship that we got as another special issue. The only difference is that this one glows in the dark, and I'm about to show you that in a moment or two. And basically, here's what happens. So just bear with me, I'm not going anywhere, but I'm just going to show you what happens when you turn on all the lights. And there she is. Look at her. She glows nice and bright. It looks pretty freaking awesome. You have to kind of put it in front of the light for a while for it to show and really kind of show up and glow. and I just have a few lights off, and this thing lights up like this. And you hold it long enough, you'll notice that it kind of fades, almost like a phasing effect. So it's actually kind of cool. You can almost see it get darker as it goes on. It's pretty damn awesome, I think. The registry stands out nice, and it looks like a ship that's phasing in and out of space-time and interface and going into the mirror universe. And I bet if I were to turn off some more lights, it would be even darker. But yeah, it's pretty darn badass if you ask me. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. I would definitely recommend picking this up, especially if you're a fan of the original series. I'm going to put it back in the box for now because I don't have space for it. But yeah, it's definitely worth picking up. Still kind of glows a little bit. Let me see if I can just shine a little bit more light on for you wonderful people out there. And there she is. Look at that. She glows. USS Defiant. So yeah, that, my friends, is the USS Defiant NCC-1764 Constitution class, seen on Star Trek the original series, Star Trek Enterprise, and now involved in Star Trek Discovery, the current Star Trek series on the air, quote unquote. So yeah, it's definitely a model that you should pick up. It's definitely worth it for the glow in the dark effect, all on its own. The effect doesn't last that long, unfortunately, but it kind of gives you the illusion that it's phasing in and out, and the ship looks like it's fading before your very eyes, before in front of the camera, which I think is pretty cool. It's really no different than the issue number 50, the original Enterprise. It's no different than the ISS Enterprise, the Mirror Universe version that was also available, and it's also no different than the SS Yorktown that's also available as well. The only difference is this one glows in the dark, and it's the Defiant, and it's particularly significant because it's now on Star Trek Discovery. So yeah, I would definitely pick this up. It is worth it, and yeah, definitely. So now, thank you guys so much for watching. That is the USS Defiant, the special glow in the dark issue. And until next time, live long and prosper. Be safe. Don't phase in and out of space-time. And if you have any questions about the ship and how it glows and anything, drop me a line below. And I'd be very appreciative. Please share it, like it, tell your friends, and all that. So yeah, live long and prosper.